Yes, AutoChief, new week, new car. Ghana, pay attention. It's your man, Dio Fair Japan, and I'm excited to be back. This week, we are going to give you information on the import duty for one of the most popular vehicles in Ghana and across the globe, the 2020 Toyota Corolla. So just stick around. By the time you are done, you're going to know about the trims, all the trims, the MSRPs, the manufacturer suggested retail prices, and the corresponding import duty values. So just stick around, we'll be done soon. The 2020 Toyota Corolla is a very popular car, but I'm not seeing so many on the streets of Accra. They are, a relatively good number, but this particular year, most of them are going to be 5 years old. And I always tell you, at AutoChief, one of the simple hacks when we are importing a car into Ghana is we always want to make sure that at the very least we're able to make some savings. And one of the easiest way that you can make some savings is if the vehicle is 5 years old. In that case, the GRA would depreciate the value of the vehicle when new. That's the manufacturer suggested retail price by 50%. So that's very important to us. So now, this year, I'm sure those who were paying attention to this particular Toyota, now is a very good time to be looking at importing one. And so let's see. Now let's look at the picture. This is it was an all new model. So there was it's a complete generation, as you can see on your screens. It's a beautiful one. It's sleeker than the model that it replaced. So that's one thing that became quite clear. It's quite sleek. You can see even the front fascia looking all sporty, especially in the XSE trim. Again, in the XSE trim, very nice. Now let's take a look at the back view as well. So let's see. So you can see beautiful even from this 3/4 side view. Very nice. It looks sporty. Not many people are keen on Toyota design because Toyotas, they tend to be, for lack of a better word, a bit boring most of the time with their designs. But in this particular model, they really got it. It looks nice from all angles. Look at even the stock rims. Very nice. So that's the 2020 Toyota Corolla. Now, you know why we are here. When we come here, AutoChief, and we are watching these videos, we want the information. So I know you cannot wait. So let's just dive right in. The all-new 2020 Toyota Corolla, when it came out in 2020, the MSRP was starting at $20,430 And of course, like I always tell you, when you see it as stated on Car and Driver, it's usually with the destination charge. So the actual MSRP is just slightly lower. Yes, so now let's examine the pricing and which one to buy. And for that, as always, we get to Car and Driver. And so when this car debuted in 2020, let's see the pricing. The 2020 Toyota Corolla starts at $20,430 and it goes all the way to $26,380 depending on trims and options. So let's count the trims. We are looking at about 6 trims, but where you see me highlight the green, that's where you want to be. So that's the L, the LE, and the SE. Because the L is $20,430. And then you get to LE. LE is $20,880. Then you get to SE hatchback. That one is still $21,070. So that's the green zone. Then now you move on to the middle ground where you have the SE sedan, which is $22,880. Then this is AutoChief. This is where my pick is. Hybrid LE sedan. And that will cost you $23,880 when it was new. But the good thing is that with the hybrid, even though you are paying just a little bit more, the savings you are going to make on fuel, amazing. When we get there, you see. But where you want to stay away from, when if you have a choice, even when you are buying from the salvage market, you, as much as possible, you want to stay away from the XSE, XSAE, SE, the hatchback, you want to stay away from it. The XLE sedan, you also want to stay away from it. And then XSE sedan. Why? Because the MSRP is moving to 24,000 and 26,000. When you get to 26,000, you are talking about RAV4 money. That's RAV4. So the painful thing is that when you are paying the duty, you'll be surprised at how come it's a Corolla and my duty is almost close to a Toyota RAV4, or in fact sometimes higher than the Toyota Corolla Cross, you know. So that's with pricing. Now let's move on. Now let's dive deep into the available engines. So as you can see on your screen, the entry level engine is a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder, which makes 139 horsepower, and that's cool. And as for the transmission, Toyota has moved to CVTs for this small car. So you can see it's a CVT, continuously variable transmission. And what is important to us who are buying for this market where fuel economy is very important is, let's look at the fuel EPA estimates. So it says 30 miles per gallon in the city, 38 miles per gallon on the highway. But like I said, in Ghana, all we pay attention to is the combined. That's 33 miles per gallon, because Ghana's driving, you don't even know where the highway is. So it's really combined that helps us. So a combined fuel economy of 33 miles per gallon, and it applies to the L, the LE, and the XLE. So that's good. Let's move on to the other engine. This is the engine that has more power, that available 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine, which has 169 horsepower. But what is interesting is, apart from the horsepower, this modern engine with a higher cubic capacity that has more performance, even has more or better fuel economy. So watch it. And what is important is that it's a CVT, all right, but it comes with paddle shifters. So this is for guys who like the sporty drive. But this is what is important to us. So here I'm going to say that even though the MSRP is high, if you come across one on the used car market, wherever, or salvage, and the deal is good, you might pick it up, because here are the EPA estimates for fuel economy. So 31 in the city, 40 on the highway. But I told you, for us in Ghana, what concerns us is the 34 miles per gallon, the combined. So it's 2.0, but it still has better fuel economy than the 1.8, which has 33 miles per gallon for the combined. And this engine is standard on the SE and the XSE. So when you are shopping for it, just pay attention, and it looks good, really looks good. Now let's examine the last engine, the one that I'm crazy about. Yes, so this is the engine that I'm excited about. This is the available hybrid, and the hybrid, you are going to get a hybrid on the LE. So LE hybrid, look at it. The engine is 1.8 liter 4-cylinder, and it gives you 121 horsepower, but we are not interested in that. You don't buy a Corolla for power. Let's see. Okay, it's also CVT, electronically controlled continuously variable transmission, ECVT, but it's same CVT. Now here is what is important. EPA estimates 53 miles per gallon in the city, 52 highway, but the combined, I've told you, 52 miles per gallon. That's just too much. 52 miles per gallon, the range is huge. So if you are searching for this car once again on the used car market and you see one, even if the price is just a little high, pay attention to this, because the savings you are going to make immense. You live in Ghana, you don't want to be concerned too much about fuel, and these days where there are opportunities for Uber and all those things, you know, all those luxury airport pickups, if you get one of these, you can do anything with it. Great. Now before we get into the real business, let me show you something. When you see a 2020 Toyota Corolla, you want to be sure that the year of manufacture is a 2019 manufacture, especially since we are only in March. So how do you check if it is? Always make sure you check by the side of the driver's door. So as you can see here, I'm going to give you an example. I got this car on IAI, the auction site. It's a 2020 Toyota Corolla, and I just want to demonstrate. So watch it. I'm going to show you the year of manufacture so that we are sure that we are going to get the 50% depreciation. So as you can see on your screen, the date of manufacture for this particular car, even though it's a 2020 model, but as December 2019. So since we are in March 2025, it's more than 5 years. We are guaranteed if we buy this car and we are bringing it, we know that the duty is going to be relatively good. And the reason why that is important is that Toyota, unlike other manufacturers who every time you see or you hear 2020 car, it's definitely that it was manufactured in the previous year. Toyota, sometimes they will manufacture the car in 2020 and budget as a 2020 model year. Pay attention, it happens a lot with Toyotas. Now let's move to the business side. Let's go and check out the import duties. So let's go through a few of these. So let's focus on number 2. This is an early 2020 with the manufacturer's suggested retail price, which customs prefer to call it home delivery value or HDV. And you can see it's 19,950, so relatively low. Now let's look at the corresponding duty, 65,281. Now, when was it cleared? It was cleared from port. The person received the duty value on the 27th of February, and the person paid on the 7th of March, just a few days ago. Now that's early. So as you can see, even if we check through the other earlies, they are around 65,000. So you can see. Now let's move to XLE. So that's number 3, and that's the one that I've highlighted in red. I told you that as much as possible, if we can stay away from the XLE and the XSE, we should. So the MSRP for XLE is $23,950, and then the duty paid was $77,563. That's in Ghana cedis. And then once again, duty was given on the 24th of February, and the person paid the duty on the 28th. So you can see you are seeing a marked difference between the LE, where the person pays 65, but the XLE, the duty was 77,000 and some change. Now let's move to number 8, XSE. And I told you that has a very high MSRP. So you are going to see $25,450. And so how much did the person pay? The person paid 83,012 Ghana cedis. 83,012 Ghana cedis. So between the LE and the XSE, the duty difference is almost 20,000. That's why I'm saying this is very important. That's why I always try to take you through the trims so that before we get here. So if you're someone who wants to pay a lower duty for a Corolla, then when you are importing, you have to pay attention to the trims. Very important. So that's about it. But before we go, let me give you one more, almost like a very crucial information for those who still, because they like their sporty cars, they might buy the SE or the XSE, which comes with the 2.0. If you already have the Corolla SE or the XSE in Ghana and you are wondering, my car specs 0W16 engine oil, is it available on the Ghanaian market? My sponsors Totachi, they say I should inform you that yes, 0W16 engine oil is available at all their locations. So for you to get the fuel economy that Toyota wants from this vehicle, you need to use a 0W16, and it's available. So make sure you get it. Okay, and that's about it, Ghana. I appreciate you for watching, every one of you. And please, if you found value, don't forget to like the content, share, and subscribe. And also, Don't forget the bell notification icon is important so that whenever I upload content, you'll be the first to know. Big up to my video director, Awobio. I salute you, Ghana. Until next week, I say, Medasi.